Hi, my name's Rick. Welcome to my channel. Good news today from the British government. We are taking back control of British Steel's Scunthorpe plant from its Chinese owners. Now, why is this good? Well, you think about it, the Chinese wanted to shut down the last two blast furnaces in the UK. What effect would this had on our ability to produce virgin steel? It would have taken that ability away completely. It would have left us having to buy virgin steel from other sources, namely China. That's why the Chinese wanted to shut it down, for their own benefit, not for environmental issues, not for any other reason than they want to corner the market, force us out, and leave us without the ability to produce steel. That's why Chinese companies have been buying up and taking control of a lot of steel companies and producers outside China, so that they can kind of corner the market and dictate the price, take away, produce a lot of steel cheaply, force people to buy their steel, force other companies out of business, and then they can whack the price up. Well, it looks like somebody's undone that little plan in the UK, so well done. It's the first thing that this government has done that's made any sense whatsoever. When you think about it, we've taken this decision rapidly, and we've made it, and we've run with it. I mean, this is the first time in absolutely ages where the Parliament has been recalled on their Easter break, or any break to be honest, and asked to discuss this matter with urgency. And not only the House of Commons, also involved the House of Lords. They're the ones that have to actually pass this legislation. Then it can get the King's assent, which is actually happening. And we're just going to watch the news. I mean, this is 2,700 people's jobs at potential risk here. If we buy the plant, or rather take control of it at no expense to the taxpayer, will we then try and do the same with the plant in Port Talbot? Or will we expand production in Scunthorpe with other furnaces, the electric arc furnaces, to produce finer, higher grades of steel from steel that is already out there, the scrap steel and stuff? Will we add an extra blast furnace, which is the ability of this country to produce its own steel, looking at projects moving forward in construction to complete everything that's needed steel-wise for the next 5 years. We can only at current produce about half of that. So where's the other half going to come from? Abroad. Instead, by doing what they've done, they've secured the ability to make virgin steel. And if they then invest in other stuff like arc furnaces, and I'm sure they do them induction furnaces for other materials, then we could very well be able to become self-sufficient once again in the production of steel, to the point where we're producing enough steel, not only for ourselves, but moving forward, to cease export of scrap metals to China and other countries, deal with it all in-house, and just sell the final product abroad. So, you're thinking here about, people think steel, or you've got stainless steels that are used in medical equipment. You've got steel used in anything. You think about it, you're not that far from steel. You've got concrete foundations. You're more likely to have steel reinforcing in those. You drive a car, yep, steel again, all different types and grades. Kitchenware, stainless steel. Big factories, cast steel. And, you think about it, if we can produce it in this country and we can keep it in this country, then once again, this could create a nice profitable little empire for future generations of taxpayers if we get it right, if we get the price right. Where are we going to stop next? What should we nationalise next? They are nationalising the railways. That's a good one. And they're doing it by just simply not renewing the franchises. So again, it costs nothing to the taxpayer. It will bring money in, as proven when East Coast Main Line, their franchise ran out, and for 4 years, well, the franchise holder handed it back, and for 4 years it took to sort it out. It generated well over £2 billion in revenue for the taxman. Tories failed to see that, and they just put it back out to franchise again, rather than going, oh look, this is generating money we can spend on stuff like the NHS, policing, reducing the national debt. But no, so this is the first step. The trains are the second. First two to see their franchises hand back to the government will be Greater Anglia. Well, yeah, Bellio, Greater Anglia, isn't it? That will affect me because that's my main line that I use if I'm using the train. C2C, which is the other operator in Essex, doesn't really affect me because I don't really use C2C. I don't use the train a lot. I tend to drive or use the bus, so that doesn't really affect me. But what do you think should be the next things to be nationalised? Do you think we should go for BT? Look at the profits they're making, better off in the government's pocket. Do you think we should go for Centrica, take control of the gas again, and make sure that, these are things that profitable things that, if you're making a nice profit, goes into the taxpayers, reduces what we need to spend out on tax, helps reduce the national debt. Currently we're paying for every pound in taxation that we are paying, that the government collects, 82p of that goes off to paying the national debt. That's not good, not in my book. We should be about 75p, no more. So if we can raise funds, then let's go for it. Let's do it, and let's make this country great again. Not sure Labour will end up doing that, but yeah, you never know. Right, signing off. Just a short one. Thank you.